the workers' rights. But everywhere the steward hand may walk, his feet may walk, the place he may go, that he may fight for justice for it. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. The treasurer's report will be temporarily delayed until Ms. Harris returns. We will start with the president's report, and we will move to the treasurer's report once she returns. You can peruse it right now, look it over, talk about things in it, or you can approve it, but there definitely needs to be one thing changed on it, and that's the date. Somehow it got missed the other day. It has the wrong date, but we will address that when Ms. Harris returns. So we'll start with the President's report. We will continue to, we are continuing to move forward in our process, seeking a loan for the endeavors that we have been speaking about the last 3 months. We received a loan application from the Members Defense Fund yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 days ago. We received it on Thursday. And we will fill that out diligently. Let you know what their response is once we fill it out and get it back to them. They are offering, not offering, we have the ability to take out a loan from the defense fund. If we take it out for 15 years, that loan will be at the cost of 6%. If we take it out at 30 years, that loan is 6.5%. So they, for a longer time period, they actually increase their interest rate by half a percentage point. But those things will make you all aware of in relationship to which one we sought or went after. Also, Huntington is still very much in the process of considering and giving us a loan also. So at this point in time, those are the two lenders who we are seeking, and we'll speak more about that as we get further into the process. So I want you to know that. Hopefully we'll have something that we can tell you the exact amount that we requested. I'm hoping about 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops, so we can get moving on this process. We're already behind. This week, Able Roof, our insurance company, Westfield, inspected our roof. So we're hoping that we'll soon be able to report out that will be covered. Through insurance, we won't have to seek money in terms in regards to repairing the roof. We'll also report that back. I hope soon and very soon, once we get it completely nailed down. One of the things that the lenders are asking is to be specific as to how much money we want. So we hope to have some exact numbers once we have secure and know exactly what will happen with the roof. That will change what we ask for as we move forward. Also, arbitration cases and decisions are continuing to move forward. We have a date scheduled in January to do the Newark campus goodwill issue, in which we will fight the privatization of the DBS staff. There's a goodwill company coming in, assuming the duties of the environmental working staff at Newark campus, and that is in January. We think that is a very important move that we need to make so that fight will take place in January. Also, in December, we will bring Warren So, starting to come, starting to schedule them. So we need money, we got to allocate money to fight arbitration cases and decisions. It's not something that we wish to do, it's something that we must. So that process has been done. Also in relationship to our arbitration cases in the city, we have made our initial payment in regard to some of the other legal fees which we got. I don't want to be too transparent because we are watched, but I'm going to have a transparent conversation. For those of you who are watching Viva video, I'm sorry you should be here. The next things I'm going to say is going to be for those who have the membership. And I'm going to ask you at this time, any stewards who have anything they want to report out. We won't talk about those things that we close the audience to. But any steward who has a report, anything happening in his or her area that you wish to report out, I'd like you to stand up and report it out.
I report that there's a new steward that will be getting started at OSUE by the name of Neil. He said out of the maintenance department. As soon as Kevin is finalized and gets taken over we will have one more steward over at OSUE.
I think Mike is looking at you now. Can you say that again?
We have one more new steward, Neil. He's in our maintenance department over at OSUE. As soon as Kevin can get the paperwork to OHR, we will have two stewards that's actually present inside of OSUE. And I also will like to add, ongoing, that the James is actually still hiring for custodial workers because they're taking over other buildings as far as the cleaning part.
Any other stewards want to report out? Any officer want to report out?
Secretary of State's office is, I don't know, pretty preoccupied with the election, obviously, so tying into that. Again, just a reminder, if you haven't voted yet, Tuesday is election day. Get out and vote. You have to.
Another 20.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no election?
I think that's a really good topic. One of the things that we spoke about on the board meeting. Get out and vote. Push going on the last 3 days here. Later on today, Wayne, you can give them the address to the AFL-CIO.
Yeah, it's at the Seafarers Union Hall, 2800 South High Street. South High. We're going to be doing those, still going to be doing door-to-door canvassing, also phone banking, I'm sure. Like myself today, I got to be back. I'm going to be down here today. Starts at, it's going to be between 10 and 1, 10 this morning to 1. Maybe, 10.
Let me give her up here. What's going on? You can go out to the AFL-CIO, South High Street, 2800. There now, because it's all about get out to vote. Traditionally, when you go there and get a package and feed it to a sign area. Today, what you're being asked to do is go to any area that you wish can go to your home community, your home neighborhood. You choose any community, any neighborhood, anywhere in Franklin County. You don't live in Franklin County, Greene County, Pickaway County, Lincoln County, and I'm 100% serious. You're being asked to knock on the doors in your neighborhood, in your community, and encourage people to vote. One of the things that national media is stating is that the voter turnout is low. That is low. People are not coming out and voting the numbers that they did last year. Certain communities they have targeted as being beyond what it was in 2012. There appears to be a greater turnout among the Spanish community. But I would say the African American community has stated that there is a smaller turnout. So we need to get in those areas, we need to get in those communities, and we need to encourage them to get out to vote. There will be a get out to vote rally at Tri-Stone Baptist Church at 5:30 on tomorrow. We will have many people and many local officials from around town. Joyce Bailey, Herschel Craig. There will be gospel singer Shirley Murdoch. They all will be there to help turn out the vote. But the main thing that really turns out the vote is us hitting the street, us knocking on the doors. And so I'm encouraging you, I'm imploring you to canvass your own community today. I don't want you just to canvass it, I want you to report back where you went, what streets you canvassed, because literally we get counted for that, we get checked for that. We're responsible for being politically engaged and involved in the civic community and what's happening. And the vote is extremely crucial to us. All the ballots up and down the ballot is extremely crucial to us. For those of you in the room today, we have literature in the back that you can take with you. We got literature that explains each candidate and who supports whom. It does not tell you who to vote for. It just tells you a little bit about each candidate, irregardless of party. We do have some literature that will advise you who you can vote for, who we think you should vote for. I'm asking you to take both with you, both types, out to go with you, canvass your neighborhood, canvass your community, report it back to us on Monday so that we can turn it in. It is very, 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 very important that we get out and that we help turn out the vote and that we vote labor's interest. Candidates who support labor. That's what we must do. We're labor. We should vote our interest to the candidate who is going to support our interest. So it's important today that we get out today, that we get out tomorrow, that we get out on Monday. If there are any volunteers, if there's anybody who can be off on Tuesday who will help drive people to the polls, we're looking for volunteers who will help drive people to the polls. If you know anybody who will help drive people to the polls, we're asking you to send them to the AFL-CIO. Have them give me a call so I can get them to whatever area of the town that needs people to get them to the polls. We need to get people to the polls. That's the most important thing that we have to do in the next 2 to 3 days. Get out the vote. Get out the vote. Turn out the vote. Get out the vote. Get out the vote. And get out the vote. Also, one of the things that we did in our board membership meeting the other day, our membership participates, labor participates in One New Toy. One New Toy is one of the biggest things as far as giving back the labor that we do. It helps families during the holiday season have some food, toys under the tree, food on the table. it is a entity that our members have participated in greatly. And so we made a contribution, and I would need you guys to know that we made that contribution. I'd like you to prove the fact that we made that contribution. And so we voted as an E-board to give them a $2,000 donation. We often have membership go in the hundreds. So one of the things that I need to happen, we need to have happen, so that E-board minutes are not here, I need you to pass a motion or not pass a motion to approve the check that we gave to United Way in the amount of $2,000 that we're considering giving to United Way, as you guys can think that we gave to United Way, that we wish to give to United Way $2,000. I need somebody to pass a motion to approve what the keyboard actually do or offer a new member or mix it all together.
Pass the motion to accept the check for $2,000 to the United Way.
I need someone to second it.
Second.
Seconded by Jason Lacy. All in favor, signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those who oppose, same sign. Hearing none, that motion has been passed and accepted by membership. I felt it was important that you know that took place. Our secretary was not at the meeting. We had notes taken by Ms. Collins. I wish we put all of that to you out at our next membership meeting, but that's one thing that even though you didn't see it, you needed to know. And I want to make sure that you do it, that things are not passing by you and you don't know. In the back, Mayor Colon.
I just wanted to know if you were going to add on to that part that they also need volunteers.
I will. I will, yes. Thank you. One Big Toy is a massive process. They serve all the labor just about in Central Ohio. They can be on entity known as Project Linden, over on Joyce Avenue, Joyce 17th. You have maybe 50, 60 people on one day unloading trucks. And we need another 2 volunteers the next day as cars and people pull up to get the items to help take packages and put packages in the back of cars. It is labor intensive. We need people to volunteer to participate in that project. Participate to help unload the trucks, participate to help pack food packages, food, grocery bags, and which they will be given out to membership, not only your membership, but labor from around Central Ohio. We need folks to get involved and participate in this project. I would love for some of you, and really all of you, before you leave today, sign a volunteer list in the back, volunteering to participate in this project. It is massive, it is labor intensive, and we need people to help us, and help the rest of the city of Columbus and Central Ohio pull that project off. So I hope that you will go in the back, sign up, and participate in that project. I said that we would delay the treasurer's report, but we're going to have to move forward with it. I want you to peruse.
So I wanted to mention that a student group is having the president of the university on the 9th of November.
We're going to get the new business comes over.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I promise you. I promise you. Really, before we go to the treasurer's report, that concludes it. Treasurer's report, that concludes the president's report. If you got any questions that you'd like to ask about what you just heard, Now is the time we will move back to the treasurer's report. Hearing that, we'll go straight to the treasurer's report. It has been in your hand for some time. I've already noted for you that the date on it is incorrect. It says October 5th. It should say November 5th. Somehow that got passed us yesterday, Thursday, but it says November 5th. So that is one of the things that definitely needs to be changed or amended. The date. Steve.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to table, approve the secretary's report until the next meeting, we can approve it then.
You can amend the date, but you like to make a motion. Can you explain why?
Because I prefer her to be here when we accept the Secretary of the Treasury report. I just make a motion to table it the next week.
He asked the table approving the treasurer's report. He wants to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report to the next meeting because the treasurer is not here, and he would like her to be here to give the report. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second. Frank Crawford.
All in favor of that, signify by a sound of aye. Put your hands up, let me see. Okay. All opposed, same sign, it's clear that the motion has passed. The date in regards to One Choi, I'll make that known to all of the volunteers.
Point of order, sir. She's here. See what he's for.
Because we've already, we've already pushed it back to the next meeting. Good job.
Good morning.
Can I make a motion to allow the treasurer's report to now be given? Or can I not do that?
Well, what has occurred? They passed the motion in more or less to have the church report and you're not here. And so, we either want to pass amendment to undo what you guys just did, or it will be done at the next meeting.
Can I amend the motion that was just passed to next meetings and have the treasurer's report now since the treasurer is here?
You got it. Anybody want to second that? All right. All in favor? All opposed? All right. Hearing that, Mr. Secretary.
Again, good morning. I apologize. I was here. I left. So just FYI, it's cheer season for me, so it's going to be a little hit or miss with me. Nonetheless, you have two reports in front of you. One does say October 5th, and I apologize that it's November 5th, but for the one that says October 1st, that is the one that we addressed last meeting that I would have for you this meeting. So for September 1st through the 30th, our previous balance was $113,545.88. Deposits being $33,980.32. Debits being $33,867.21. Regular checks paid being $9,833.33. Electronic withdrawals, $18,240.41. Other debits, $5,793.45. For the money market in September, the balance was $15,266.97. There was interest on it, bringing our total assets to $128,629.58. And then for October, the beginning balance being $113,658.99. Deposits, $32,441.53. Debit being $35,980.80. Regular checks paid being $13,448.72. Electronic withdrawals, $17,606.88. Debits being $4,925.20. For the money market for the month, the beginning balance $15,267.59. Deposit being $1,400. The 67-cent interest earned, bringing the balance to $15,668.26, leaving our total assets at $125,387.31. So I just want to address a few things. So when it comes to our deposits, they tend to be up and down, and the reason being is because the way that the funds are released to us from the national, they're not always released at the same time. So for the deposit that we receive from the university, it always happens on the 15th of the month, like clockwork. Of course, if it's a holiday or a Sunday or it's not a banking day, then it will happen after. But with regards to the smaller entities like the Secretary of State or Pickaway County and things like that, those typically happen about the 29th, but then they might also happen after, the cutoff for that month. So I want to definitely address that because I know there's about $1,000 difference in between years. For the regular checks paid, let me say that depending on whatever might be going on for the month, sometimes like in September or in August, when Kevin and I went to Atlanta, I didn't send checks out until after I got back, so therefore they weren't cashed until September. And then in addition to that, you do have things like, for example, when we pay insurance or something like that, although they might go out in that month, they might hold on to it for 6 weeks before they're cashed or anything like that. So you might see regular checks paid up and down. It doesn't mean that the finances have changed or anything like that, or the things that we pay out. It just means that they cash them whenever they want to. Then for electronic withdrawals, those go to directly pay that we pay, for the staff, the ladies and things like that. That differs just because depending on how many hours that the ladies might work for the month, or if we contracted, so to speak, somebody, to do cleaning. Right now, let me say there's nobody doing the cleaning, but Mr. Kevin. But just those different things, of course, will affect the up and down balances of that. And normally it's around that high 17 to about like low 18. That never really changes. With regards to other debits, those things are the things that we use the debit card for. So there are some bills that I just won't send checks out for. So like for Pitney Bowes, that's our postage stamp. That's always paid through the card. Or for when we went to Detroit, the hotels or whatever, that's paid with the debit card. That's not used for a check. When we rented the vehicle, that was paid with the debit card. So that is with the other debit when it comes to that. That is with whatever the card is used for. With regards to the money market, I'm going to say that sometimes checks will fit in there for like a month or two. So that comes from people renting the hall when 4310 pays rent and things like that. Those are things that, to be honest, I immediately do because I don't want to roll around with checks just sitting in my vehicle or anything like that. So a lot of times they will sit in there, and then Ms. Lowe will send me a reminder and say, hey, you have 3 deposits from the building rental plus rent. This needs to be deposited or whatever. So that's why you see, again, from September, there not being any debit, because then the jump in October because there were changes. So I wanted to make sure that I address that. So from my understanding, it was a discussion about the larger amount paid or whatever. So I want everybody to realize going into next month, you're going to see a small dip in the finances or whatever, just because, you know, that check was paid out. So it's not to say that the roof is on fire or anything like that, but again, I want to make sure that I try and, you know, prepare everybody before you see a finances say, what the heck is going on or anything. That baby is going to be split between the money market and then also the primary account. So you will see a hit on the money market side next month of $5,000 because that will be transferred back to the money market again in order to keep the baby. But, you know, things are coming up. You know, the donations and also the audit is coming up for the year.